Antarctica is the last frontier. It is the most uninhabitable, coldest and most pristine continent on the planet. It's also a big draw card for adventurers like our next guest. She has just sailed her way into the history books as the first woman to circumnavigate it solo. Please welcome Lisa Blair to Studio 10. Wow, you are remarkable. Not only did you survive this trip, but you managed to capture much of it on your phone, on video phone.
Yes.
Which is brilliant. Wow. There must have been some hairy moments. Take us through your journey.
Just arrived. Okay, on, just over here. So exciting! Yeah, well, I mean, it's 14,000 nautical miles, and it's solo, and it's one of the world's most dangerous oceans. So, you know, you have storms up to sort of 50 knots of wind or 70 knots of wind, and then you can also get waves. I had 15 metres at one time. So if you imagine a 3-storey building
coming at you,
yeah, and you're sailing over and.
I've always wanted to go to Antarctica, but why did you decide you wanted to sail around it?
Yeah, it's I sailed in the Southern Ocean once when I did a cruise race around the world, and I just got so fascinated with the ocean. There's so much wildlife down there, and the swell is just so ginormous, and it's just this majestic, beautiful place in the planet. Hi guys, so I've just crossed the international date line, which is awesome. Neptune. So I've got a ginger beer here as I don't have any alcohol on board, and I'm going to give Neptune a toast. Thank you for the safe passage, and I'm going to share some with Neptune. Now it's been 20 days at sea. I still haven't seen another ship, another boat, land, nothing. But I'm doing well. Me and my boat, Climate Action Now, we're doing really, really well. And can't wait for the next milestone of the trip. International Dateline, woohoo! And yeah, and it was just it's in our backyard, and it was just an incredible opportunity and a great adventure.
Just trying to get my head around the scale of those waves and you having to deal with it. If you go overboard in that temperature, are you just gone? Is that it? There's no...
Yeah,
you're dead.
tie yourself to the boat.
Yes, you're tethered on the whole time, and I have a life jacket on at all times on deck as well. And it didn't matter if there was 5 knots of wind or 50 knots of wind, I would clip onto the boat. Because as a solo sailor, the worst risk is that you get separated from your boat.
But if you go overboard, you will freeze to death.
Yes, yeah.
How do you mentally cope with being alone for all that time?
Yeah, well, it's 3.5 years of prep. So I think for me, just like thinking about it for so long really allowed me to get my head sort of in the right mindset. And then for the cold, I did have a heater on board, and then lots and lots of clothes, lots of layers. But yeah, the snowstorms were a bit rough.
How do you prepare food-wise and everything for that? Do you know how long it's going to take?
Yeah. So you have an idea of how long the passage is, and then you create emergency rations as well. So each week we had food bags. Yeah.
Now thinking about it, sitting here telling us about it, you know, what's your biggest memory? What's your greatest recollection of what you did there?
Just the surfing in the southern sides of the swell down there. I mean, I had, you know, a few bad memories as well with the demasting and everything. But
she lost the mast off the boat, and then you had to go where?
Yeah, I had to
go back to Africa or something.
Yeah, I was 1,000 miles in the Southern Ocean. It took me another 10 days to get to shore again, and then repaired the boat and finished the world record.
Wow.
There's a fraternity of sailors out there, isn't there, that go sailing in these solo expeditions. Did you meet up with them?
I didn't see anybody. It was an unassisted voyage, so that means I didn't like receive stuff on board
So
or
you
anything.
never saw another soul the whole time?
It was 73 days before I saw my first person, and that was when I was receiving fuel from a container ship after my demasting.
Think about that demasting. I just want to show everyone at home what actually happened with you inside the boat.
Yes.
After that demasting happened. Have a look.
The mast came down, and it came down at deck level, clean straight off. I prepared for an abandoned ship just in case, and I notified my shore crew that I'd demasted and issued a pan.
Oh my God.
Can you just tell me what is going on in your head just then? Are you thinking, oh my God, this is it, I'm finished?
I wasn't thinking necessarily that I was finished, but it was definitely a fight or flight kind of reaction. And, you know, in those sorts of situations, the biggest risk is that the mast actually falls off the hull of the boat and pierces the hull and sinks the boat.
And then you're...
Yeah, and I was in, 5 degrees sea temperature, really cold conditions. I got hypothermic that night from just trying to cut the mast free from the boat. And I was in 8 to 9 metre swell at the time of the emergency. So
And as if that wasn't bad enough, sorry, I'm obsessed with death.
just paint the picture.
But there were also icebergs you had to deal with, did you?
Yeah, I luckily didn't see ice. We did purposely route myself around known icebergs. But yeah, there was definitely the risk was there that I could encounter some blocks of ice.
It's just such a unique experience, and when you're down there that you're actually one of the few people in the planet that has seen these storms, that is experiencing that sort of wildness of the ocean. The navigation was below 45 degrees south, between 45 and 60 south. So it's the furious 50s, the screaming 60s, it's the Southern Ocean. The longest stretch I had at sea was 81 days, completely solo, and I didn't see another human being, boat or ship or anything for 74 days. So it's just this unbroken horizon line. It doesn't matter what the conditions are doing, there's nothing to break up that view. And most of the time in the Southern Ocean it's really grey conditions, so you've got grey sky with grey seas, and that's about it.
Got off the boat, what was the first thing you did?
Hugged my family. I hadn't seen them for 6 months, so I hugged my family, and then we all went to the pub and I got a nice veggie burger and hot chips that I've been craving.